What's up, guys? Brooke Kromer here from Athletes and Artists with a new show, Huddled Up at Home. I'm going to be bringing you an inside look at how this league is changing and adapting to this new way of life, and I'll be interviewing athletes and coaches from around the league with how they're dealing with these facilities being closed, gyms being closed, rehab appointments being canceled, and meetings taking place virtually. This league has to be ready for a 2020 season whenever that may be, and we are going to get an inside look at how these teams are going to be prepared right here, huddled up at home. Well, in honor of draft week, I thought that it was perfect to have a 2020 NFL draft prospect. So I am joined today by Kentucky's linebacker, Kash Daniel. Kash, thank you for joining me. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, let's kick it off. First of all, other than draft preparation, what are you doing to keep yourself busy during this crazy time?
A lot of turkey hunting. A lot of turkey hunting and bass fishing. That's about it. That's about all you can do.
I figured that was going to be the answer. Just enjoying the outdoors and everything.
Hey, it's the perfect time to get into the outdoors. You can't go hardly anywhere else. You can't go eat dinner, with your friends. You can't go to the movies. You can't go. You can't do normal things you would do, but thankfully, the outdoors was a normal thing for me. So it just gives me more time, to be out there and, enjoying, every day in it.
Perfect. And what are you doing now, like pre-coronavirus? What were you doing to prepare for the draft? And now how has that affected you, and how are you adapting to this new way of life?
Well, about 6 of us that graduated in this year's class from UK, we came back to UK to train for our pro day, and let our strength conditioning coaches work us out for that because I might be a little biased, but I think they're one of the two best strength coaches in the nation, and Coach Ed and Coach Hill. They're both head strength conditioning coaches, but they kind of it's like they're head strength conditioning coaches. Coach Hill got here when I first got here in 2016 when I graduated high school early in the spring or in the fall, and got here in the spring. And he came from Indiana where he was the head strength coach there. And Coach Ed was his coach when they played, and so they have a great relationship and they feed off each other well, and it made working out. It was hard, like we got after it every day, but it made a lot of fun too because those are the guys that you spend so much time with. They're the guys you spend the most time with, and when you're playing, college ball. So we were training with them, and I was in the best shape of my life. I was getting after it. I was really excited to run a 40 and show people how fast I am, because a lot of the draft things that I've read, and everything people tell me is that I'm not fast enough, this or that. I'm like, okay, and just let me get my body healthy first, like fully healthy, and not have to do spring ball and not have to do this or that. Like, let me just not have to go to class because I graduated in December. So I'm like, literally all I have to do is wake up, eat, like literally do whatever I want to do to be healthy, and that was having that extra time, was so beneficial to me and for my body because I could get up, eat a good breakfast, go in, get my treatment before we work out, go kill it with Coach Ed and Coach Hill, come back and get ice tub therapy, whatever I need with our great, training staff there we have at UK, and go home, eat a healthy meal, and go bass fish. It was the life for me. That was, if I could do that every day, hey man, I'm good with it. If I can get paid for it, but. And then now, obviously, the pandemic hit, and the first thing that ran across everybody's mind was, are they going to cancel pro day? And that was really stressful. Just wondering, what happens? And I'm a dude that thinks so far ahead. I think that's one of my flaws in life is that I don't live in the present too much. I look, 30 feet ahead. My dad always told me to look at the 30,000 30,000 view of life instead of the 30-foot view. So I'm always planning ahead, of what happens. And so it kind of, scared me of like, what was this going to happen if I don't get this opportunity? But ultimately they ended up canceling it. And, a lot of guys, including myself, we were let down. But at the end of the day, looking back on it, I was pretty pissed off about it. I was saying this or that to my dad and whoever, just ranting and raving, because I just felt like I got robbed of an opportunity, that I've worked my whole life for, to get in front of those scouts and show that, that I can run a fast 40, that I'm good in drills, and that I'm better than, even with my game tape, it's just a verification that I can play in that league, for me, and I didn't get that opportunity. So now it's just with the teams that I've talked to, they're just basing it up on film and, interviews over the phone, and, people who they talk to with my agent and, coaches from college and all that different stuff. So it's pretty stressful to know that you didn't get a fair shot at this thing that you've wanted so long, that you've dreamed about since you was a little kid, and that you've done so many countless things and made so many countless, sacrifices to get to this point, and to not get the opportunity to do it. It kind of feels like you get punched in the gut, but at the end of the day, it's bigger. What's going on right now is bigger than football, and what's going on right now, is bigger than a pro day. So, everything's going to work out no matter what. If I didn't get that chance to, impress a scout, or if I didn't, whatever happens, going to happen. So, but I went back home to my home and where I'm originally from, Paintsville, Kentucky, in the southeast region of Kentucky in the Appalachian Mountains, and I've been working out there at my high school. Been having to sneak in there actually. Yeah. One of my best friend's dads, he works for the school, and he has to go in every morning. So he leaves the door open for me. He was our high school baseball coach at the time, and he knows. He knew how everybody saw, when I was in high school, how bad I wanted just to go to college, and how bad I just wanted to play, for a Division I school and play for Kentucky. So he knows how bad I want to go to the NFL as well. So it's kind of just hey, we know that this stuff's going on. He's not supposed to be in here, but who else from our small town is doing this right now? So we're going to let the kid do it. So, so I've just been doing that, running hills at the dam at the lake, just going back to old school, going back to my roots of what got me to college, basically.
That's amazing.
It's like I wish I had, if it was a movie, it'd be like the training montage in Rocky IV when he's in Russia. He's running through the snow and doing tricep push downs with the rock.
I can picture it now.
Yeah, that's basically me, except that there's no snow.
That's incredible. And another big thing that draft prospects like you have lost out on are those in-person meetings when the coach flies out, works you out, they get to know you as a person. What do you feel like you would have been able to prove or show to these scouts and these coaches during that you feel like you've missed out on as well?
My football IQ. I wish I would have been able to get in a room with them and break down film with them, or get up on a board and draw our base defenses, or draw our basic pressures out of our different packages. They draw up our basic nickel package, draw up a basic nickel package pressure, and go to our base packages and all that, and show that I can get guys lined up, that I can get checks, and I can be the field general out there that a middle linebacker and the Mike linebacker is supposed to be. I can get a D-line slid over a gap if he's in a wrong shade. I can make checks from the safety, if he's rolling down which way. Whatever I need to do, pre-snap, I can get guys lined up and to be in the position to make the play post-snap. Also is just, my ability, to not quit. I was watching the NFL. I was watching NFL Network the other day, and I was watching one of those football lives, and I can't remember who it was, but they said, "Well, keep working him out." They wanted to work him out hard to test his work ethic, and because they knew he's a great player, they didn't know if he could work through adversity or not. And he said that they put him through the hardest workout they ever put any draft prospect through, and that he just kept coming back for more. Just would not quit, would not do anything, asked for more. That would have been me. I would have been like I'm not going to quit. I might slip and fall once or twice, and it may not be perfect, but it's going to be, good enough for you to say, hey, I want this kid on my team, and he's not going to quit. He's got a great attitude, and he's going to be a valued asset to this organization. So, I just missed out on that. But over the phone, I've had really good conversations, with teams of explaining our defense and what, certain calls and what I would do if certain things happen formation-wise or shifts or things like that. If I got to check from a safety, if I got to check, pre-snap with the call, if this happens or that happens, just talk through my position and the other guys around me based upon those situations. But I think I've done a really good job of presenting myself with my football IQ and how I talk with these coaches and GMs and whoever I've been talking to. And I think like that alone, and plus, I didn't go to the combine, but I did play in a small senior bowl down in Daytona Beach. Mm-hmm. So I got to interview with a lot of teams there, and I felt like I had a really good 2 days of practice there, going up against really a lot of talented kids, across the country. And there's a lot of guys from the SEC there. So just at this point, like I said, I've done all I can do, to control and whatever happens, happens. And I'm just going to make the best of the opportunity, however it comes.
And in your life, did you ever dream of that one team that you would hear calling your name or giving you that phone call a day? What team was that for you?
I grew up so it was a split. Like my family was kind of split because, and it's a funny story, because back in those days, my dad and my uncle said that there was only 2 TV stations that got football games on Sundays, and one got the Packers and one got the Browns. So my grandfather and my uncle and everybody else in my family's Browns fans, but my dad being my dad, he had to be different than everybody else. So he had to go start being a huge Packers fan. So I got baby pictures of like I sent Ty Summers from the Packers the other day. Like, we were chatting on Instagram, and I sent him. He was asking me for how long I've been a Packers fan. I was like, here, man. I was like, this is since birth. I showed him like a baby. like in decked out in Packers gear. But and I love watching Brett Favre growing up, and he was a big part of my life, and I still have, even though I've never met him or anything like that, just watching him play every Sunday or Monday, wherever it may be, and how he played the game and how tough he was out there, playing through injuries, playing through his dad dying and going out in Oakland and absolutely tearing it up. I remember that game. I was watching that game on my dad's lap in the living room in 2005, and I'll never forget that game.
I was actually at that game. My dad was coaching for the Raiders that game, and I don't remember much of it, but I remember it felt like there was a presence there of his dad in that stadium. It was insane.
Right, because and the Raiders too, being known for the most ruthless fan base ever, to opposing teams, and they gave Favre a standing ovation. They had signs, giving him and his family support. And it was just a great overall event, just to, take in and watch. But just to see how he competed each and every game and how he loved to win, but at the same time, he didn't let football be a job almost. He was like, hey, just play loose like you're playing in the backyard. And I feel like if you do that, you're going to play a long time in this league. But also at the same time, take it serious as a job, because they're always looking to replace you. So, I don't think any quarterbacks can go in there anymore and not know what a nickel defense is like he did.
I don't think so. Well, I hope that you have all those moments in your career and NFL dreams, and good luck tomorrow. Best of luck. I will be rooting for you, and I'll be rooting for you through it all and through the rest of your career. I loved watching you in college. Now I get to watch you on the big screen. I can't wait. So best of luck.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.